So when it comes to my faith, I've always been a believer. I grew up in the church, my mom making me go to church every single Sunday, faithfully. So I've always had a relationship with Christ, but I would say in the past couple of years, like in my college days, my relationship with God became kind of stagnant, where I started living for the world rather than living for the Word of God. So living life my way was extremely exhausting, and I was constantly disappointed. It was like time and time again, things never worked out how I wanted them to work out. I was in college, getting lit, turning up with my friends, in the club, looking crazy with my hair all poofy, and literally blacking out, not remembering how I got home, what happened the night before, who drove, did I drive my car? Like, it was just crazy. And I just got so tired of regretting decisions. At that same point, I was so insecure, dating guys just for the attention, just wasting my time and theirs, knowing that that's not who God ordained for me to be with. So while I was on this journey of making the craziest wrong decisions, it was like one day I had a wake-up call and I realized that my best life is whatever God has planned for me. Not what I have planned for me, but what He has planned for me. And it's like, I guess at one point I figured that I didn't trust Him enough to do what needed to be done in my life, so I took matters into my own hand, which doesn't even make sense. I used to think like, I'm young, I just want to live my life and have fun right now and turn up, and I'll get closer to God once I graduate, start working, have a family. And that's such a selfish thought to have, because God doesn't wait on us. It's just like, tomorrow is not promised. I would hate to die tomorrow knowing that I didn't give God my very best, knowing that I didn't live every single day trying to glorify His name and be, a disciple or a vessel of His grace. So it took me quite a while to learn that faith and fear cannot coexist. Like, that just doesn't even add up. That's like saying you love people of all races and being Donald Trump. Sorry y'all, I'm kind of petty, but I would pray with so much faith in my heart, but yet so much fear, doubt, and unbelief in my mind. Like, I was fearful of my past, feeling like it just had a permanent handicap sticker on my future. And that's not how it works. God has already wiped away every sin, every iniquity, every failure. He has already forgotten about it and written that away. But what God taught me in that moment is that He can take what is broken and make it beautiful. He can take my pain and turn it into a purpose. Everything that I've been through is just a recipe for the final meal that God is already preparing for me, or has already prepared for me. So I honestly didn't know where to start when it came to getting closer and building my relationship with God. But I knew that in order to hear the voice of God, I had to go where He was speaking. So with that came me reevaluating the church that I was going to, reevaluating friendships, and being around a community of people that actually held me accountable for my actions, that held me accountable for the relationship that I was trying to build with God. I remember at one point, like, someone had told me, "You're just not fun anymore." Which was hilarious, because it's just like, I don't live for the opinion of man, I live for the opinion of Christ. And sin started to look differently to me, because I was starting to see God's vision for my life more and more clearly. So of course I'm not going to be fun to you anymore, because I'm not living of the world. I'm trying to live like Christ. So it's just not going to be the same. So I don't know where I would be if I would have never started trusting God. But what I do know is that He has literally worked everything out in my favor the moment that I started trusting Him. And if I can do it, you can too.